These invincible items are the standard of Ace Assassin. When the umbrella opens, you can change the shield in a second. Press the button, and the bullet will immediately shoot at the target. You don't have to be afraid of a surprise attack. One turn and the enemy will be blown away. Load the ammunition, turn around quickly, and change the shotgun in a second. Not only that, it can also launch micro-missiles. When surrounded, don't panic. Take out a bottle of ordinary perfume and press it easily. In addition, there is a bomb detonator. You can also use it to shoot at the target, a muzzle-free watch, a high-pressure electric ring, a suit that can both prevent bullets and eat elegantly, and a handsome little leather shoe with a single button. With these items, you are invincible, but if you want to be a real Ace Assassin, you still have to pass the test of life and death. A few candidates were sleeping soundly, and the floor suddenly began to water. In just a few seconds, they woke up. Soon, the whole room was submerged in water. Everyone was at a loss. A smart student turned down the shower tube and inserted it into the toilet box. He used the shower tube to breathe the air. Everyone else laughed. Only the handsome one reacted differently. He tried to open the door, but there was a big difference in internal and external pressure. Then he turned his head, and his eyes were fixed on a mirror. Logically speaking, you won't put a big mirror in your room for no reason, unless it's a double-sided mirror for monitoring. As expected, the instructor was watching everything from behind. The mirror was smashed, and they finally escaped death. But the instructor announced seriously that none of them were qualified, because when faced with difficulties, everyone only cared about their own escape, and completely forgot about teamwork. This also caused a girl to drown. Everyone was shocked to see the body. The next morning, the instructor gave a new task. They had to choose a partner to join the training together. Everyone else left with the dog. Only the handsome one chose to hold the radar. I'm not coming up because of you, Jamie. You're cheating. You've got to be on your fucking shoes. My name's Jason. I'll have to hold you. There was no other way. The handsome one had to put him in his arms and continue the high-intensity training. Soon after, under the guidance of the handsome one, he successfully passed the tests. Next, they were about to take on the parachute mission. Someone jumped down. They had to avoid the radar's tracking and successfully landed at the designated target. Since they were confident, they told the instructor at the time, the Kingsman agent needs to be able to solve problems under pressure. Did you really think it was going to be that straightforward? Like what to do when one of your group has no parachutes? Which one? What do we do? At this time, the handsome one suddenly had an idea. He led everyone to form a group of 2 and get into the group. This method is indeed possible, but when he was close to his teammates, the other party pulled the parachute open out of panic. Now there are only 5 people left. Everyone had to form a circle and then turn around to open the parachute. At this time, only the handsome one and the beautiful one were left. The 2 of them grabbed each other tightly. It was only 300 meters away from the ground. The instructor was sweating for them. Fortunately, at the critical moment, the handsome one pulled the parachute for the beautiful one. For this test, the instructor commented one by one. The first person to open the parachute was eliminated directly because he was found by the radar. 2 more people failed to get into the circle and were also kicked out. In this way, the handsome one, the beautiful one, and the strong one advanced successfully, but the handsome one was not convinced.
Is the game? Am I the expendable candidate?
No, you don't talk to me like that.
The next second, they won the real mission. The target was a woman. As long as she was hired to the hotel, the mission was successful. The 2 men laughed at the children. This is a piece of cake. They talked to the woman, but they were stunned in a few words. When they woke up, the handsome one found himself tied to the railing. The other person asked him crazily where the position of the agent was. The train was getting closer and closer. The handsome one had to open his mouth. After the same day, the person in front of him had become an instructor. Obviously, this was the real test. The purpose was to test their loyalty to the organization. The handsome one and the beautiful one passed the test successfully. The strong one confessed everything to save his life. He was also eliminated. Soon, they faced the last test. The handsome one was called to the director's office. The director suddenly raised his gun.
Take it. Shoot the dog.
The handsome one shot his dog by mistake. He immediately raised his gun. The painful expression on his face was still unbearable. At this moment, a gunshot was heard in the next room. The beautiful one entered the room successfully. She officially became an ace assistant. The handsome one had to be eliminated. As a recommender, Harry was disappointed with this.
You fucking freak.
No, I shot my dog and then I brought him home and continued to care for him for the next 11 years.
But the handsome one was not convinced. The handsome one was too slow. The last test was to test their obedience to the order. The girl who died in the first test didn't die. She was transferred to the technical department and lived well. The reason why Harry liked the handsome one was that he wanted to repay his father's life-saving duty. When they were young, they were both members of the Ace Assistants. But in a mission, the enemy suddenly pulled the grenade. The handsome one's father jumped on him without hesitation. He saved his companion's life with his own body. The man raised his gun. The gunshot was heard. People started to commit suicide. In fact, it was all a conspiracy to eliminate the number of humans. The terrorist organization produced a large number of phone cards for everyone to use for free. But there was something hidden in the phone card. The chip inside can emit electromagnetic waves, which makes the human body violent. But as soon as he walked out, he was shot in the head by the old man. The handsome man decided to avenge Harry. He found the director to discuss the countermeasures, but he accidentally found the wound behind the director's ear. Obviously, the director betrayed him. He took the initiative to join the terrorist organization and spent a lot of money to buy a place to live. And then he inserted the chip behind his ear to block the electromagnetic wave. The director wanted to kill the handsome man silently. In the end, he killed himself. The handsome man found ZMEI and asked for the officer's help. The three of them immediately split up to prevent this disaster. A bomb was fired and the satellite was blown up. In this case, the phone card lost its signal source, but they didn't expect that the old man had a spare satellite. At the same time, the handsome man sneaked into the enemy's base camp. It's full of rich people from the upper class. They had long joined the human elimination plan and were celebrating the arrival of a new era. The handsome man quietly came to the backstage. A shot of anesthesia was fired and the network tube collapsed immediately. But the officer found that the old man was very cunning. He set up a biological identification code. It took at least 4 hours to decode it. At the same time, the old man had noticed something was wrong. He immediately pressed the handprint and the plan began at random. He saw people running to the street and they began to kill each other. Suddenly, there was a riot. There was no way. The handsome man could only venture into the base camp. A dozen soldiers fired at the same time. He cleverly dodged, pressed the button, and attacked quickly. He solved the whole team at once, but the enemy was far away. Soon, the handsome man was surrounded, and the officer, who was decoding the code, was also hit by the enemy's missile. At this critical moment, the officer suddenly remembered that he had accidentally broken the chip. He immediately retrieved the information of the chip. He found a self-destruct device. He pressed the start button, and a magical moment happened. All the people who had injected the chip were all angry. He immediately picked up his equipment and went to the base center. The Blade Girl jumped down. She was the bodyguard of the old man. She once cut the agent in half with a knife. After a few strokes, the handsome man gradually fell down. Looking at the sharp blade under the woman's feet, he suddenly had an idea. It's just a weapon. Who doesn't have it? The Blade Girl was stabbed. In less than 3 seconds, the poison was killed. The handsome man took off the blade and threw it hard at random. In this way, he saved all humans and became a qualified ace agent.